My opinion, for the average business user, WordPress is a little bit more complicated. I'll use the example of less like walk a lot. So about zero point 0.8 miles from my house, there's a really good food truck. Okay, they want to sell food and they want to text people. Okay, do not want to have to become a tech expert. And with WordPress, you have to be somewhat of a tech expert, because when things go south, you can't go to some place and say, I have a WordPress question. If I can go to the Facebook group, I can ask a question about high level, and if Christian's away, Christian can answer it. Or another friend of mine who I think you know, Carrie, if Carrie's away, Carrie can answer it. Or sometimes we'll get Sean to answer it, okay? In WordPress world, you're never going to get the CEO of WordPress to answer a question on WordPress tech support.
Patrick, Allmond, very nice to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Actually, very happy to be indoors at all. I live in the middle of the U.S. and it's freezing cold outside, so it's much better to be in front of a camera in the office than it is out in the cold weather.
Like you set up there, is that your actual room or is that the backdrop?
Oh, this is actual room. Those are I've got my head's in the way, but there's a bunch of ClickFunnels books back there. I'm a pilot, so I've got some aviation stuff back there. I'm learning bass, so there's a bass guitar over here someplace, and this is the plant I struggle to keep alive, and sometimes I don't do a very good job.
You're a pilot too.
That I started my business kind of towards the end of 1999. And when I had enough money, I went out and got my pilot's license. It was a lifelong dream ever since I was a kid. And so it's something I'm very happy I got.
Good. Is that a part of your go high level journey, or was that even prior to this?
Oh, that was well prior to this. We're talking, I'm not even sure if high level was around in 1998, 1999,
Right.
if it was called something else. But yeah, started back then, and I'm not flying right now, but it's getting to be the good weather, so I'm getting that bug and that itch back in. At some point in time, I'm going to try to figure out how to combine that love of flying with high level, because I've seen some guys that have done that, and that would be the sweet spot. You know, little circle where you're doing marketing you love and you're marketing a thing you love, and that sweet spot right in the middle.
Pretty cool to be able to fly around to your to your events.
Right, right.
On that topic, you go have a high level journey. Obviously, we both on the platform, and I'm very curious to hear your success story and what took you to the point where you are today.
I won't make it take too long, but my journey in life in general, you know, was kind of raised in California. Towards the end of my normal education, I joined the military, which took me out to the Midwest, which is where I met my wife. And I've had jobs here ever since then. And in 1999, I decided to go off on my own and start my own business, traveling around the world doing training. And that's kind of something that's always been near and dear to my heart, is talking to people about technology and making it easy. So I do very well when I'm training about it. And so like you, I've used various products over the years. I've run the gamut from Infusionsoft to MailChimp to all these things. And at some point in time, I decided that marketing automation is kind of my personal sweet spot when it comes to doing work. And I've been an Infusionsoft certified consultant, and now I'm a high-level certified admin. And I discovered high level a few years ago. And initially, I have to admit, I wasn't that impressed with it, because I had heard some bad things about it from a third party. And it turns out that probably delayed me getting in the high level world a little bit longer versus when I should have been in there, because you took somebody else's opinion of it and they said, oh,
It's the party.
I was a little bit late to the party compared to most people because I took somebody else's advice. And there are times where it's good to take advice, and there are times when you get advice that may not have been that great, and maybe that person was using an older version of high level and had a bad opinion on it. But once I got into the high level world and I saw I hit all my sweet spots, there's almost everything in one place. Has a lot of marketing automation, a big marketing automation engine, which I love. Then I was hooked, and I'm in the process. I can't even say that I have every single aspect of my business on it yet, because you have a blog that has 500 blog posts, and that's not converted yet. But I'm getting there little by little. But this is the only platform I use now. Is anytime anyone comes to us and says, you need some more lead generation, we want to run ads, or we want to do marketing automation, and they're like, will you use our system? And I'm like, no, we will either set up a new account for you in high level, or we'll convert everything over to high level. So that's kind of where I am. You have some retainer clients, and we have some kind of custom one-off clients. But these days, I'm in high level from the moment I wake up at 5 o'clock until when I go to bed at 9 p.m.
Yeah, I can relate to that. And it's fun, right? To be in this community of others that have the same aim as you. They're building their own business. There's a very unique mindset in our community, right? You can
Right.
jump on there and ask a question almost any time around the clock and know that you will get an answer. And probably from someone who's smarter than yourself.
That's the important thing is there's always someone smarter than you.
Yeah.
So if you ever get stumbled, you ever get stuck on something, and it even happens to me. I may have posted in the Facebook group already today, and if I didn't, I know I posted yesterday about something API related because I'm not an API expert. In the high level world, I tend to focus on marketing automation and custom objects. Those are kind of my two sweet spots. But you've got text message conversations with people that are smarter than me. I look at everybody else's websites because other people have been in high level a little bit longer than me have probably better websites. So I'm always grabbing ideas from other people. And then in my Google Chrome browser, I have a folder just for my high level swipe file. And I'm always putting in
Inspiration.
lead generators or other people's websites or new course from Billie Jean, or I'm always filling up that high level swipe file.
It's so amazing. You don't have to figure everything out by yourself. Like there's
They,
a lot of free value in this group in terms of knowledge and snapshots and resources from of all different kinds, right?
Right. And a couple of one of the other probably amazing things that so many amazing things about the community, meeting people like you and the fact that the community is alive 24 hours, but the product is always evolving. It doesn't go a day or two or three where we don't have new features that we're like, gotta learn something new. So it's been with some other products where they release a feature like every 6 months. We're really excited. You get one feature every 6 months. With high level, you get like features in one day, and you're like, okay,
Okay, it's insane. I
yeah.
had Fur on, I had Sean on too. Bummer that the camera didn't operate it should when I had Sean on. So he's coming on next week again. Super keen to meet him again. But they're all saying that the system is so big that at this point there's not even anybody inside of Go High Level that knows the full system, right? So being new coming into Go High Level, there's so much to grab and to dig into. What would be your recommendation if I'm a complete beginner? I'm about to do my first sale. Where do I focus?
We see that question a lot in the Facebook group, and I like to come at it from a couple different angles. First of all, are you kind of more in the agency model? Are you wanting somebody who is a marketing agency where you're going to have many customers that use high level, or are you a business that is going to use one high level account and you need to get more sales, more revenue kind of thing? And example, there was a guy in the Facebook group this morning. He works in auto detailing, I think waxing and cleaning cars. And I've worked in that industry before. And I gave him, I can't remember the exact advice I gave him, but a lot of it is just focus on very basics and ignoring all the fancy features. See people in the Facebook group doing cool things with AI level and AI are really tight these days, but that's to me a pretty advanced topic. Everybody needs, in my opinion, just the very basics of a funnel. Understand the basics of getting somebody into your world and guiding them towards a sale. So learn how to create a form. And once a form is submitted, how do you get that into an automation? And then how do you email? How do you text? And then once you get that going on, then it's a matter of maybe go over and learn like the order forms or things like that. And those are the very basics of any system. High level is so huge. The basics of any system are I need leads and I need to nurture them to some kind of sale. You don't have to worry about opportunities or AI or WhatsApp integration. There's so much there, but if you can really get good at just putting your content, your ideas in front of people, your lead generation, and then getting people in on a regular basis, and you start to optimize that, and then your business kind of runs on autopilot. And that's one of the beauties I love about marketing automation systems and even our world of marketing is once you get it dialed in, things can come on autopilot a little bit. I have a trip coming up to Costa Rica, and I'm looking forward to the fact that I'm on the road, when I'm on the airplane or when I'm on the beach, things are happening. Marketing automation is generating leads. Marketing automation is making sales. So I guess my quick answer to that is learn how to just get leads into your system. That's where I'd start. Leads into your system and nurture them to take some kind of action.
And on that, where do you have your strategy today? You come far, live out of this business. Obviously, the strategies change over time to where you see most effect of the hour you put in, right? So
Right.
where would you say that you have that sweet spot today? Is it ads? Is it groups? Is it what lead source would you say would be your number one right now?
Right now, well, number one lead source for me really is referrals and relationships. It's always been the number one lead source. When I say, I guess when I say number one, it's not my number one traffic source. It's where I get the best business and the best traffic is referrals from people because it's referral business is just so easy to close, in my opinion. I mean, if you and I have been buddies for 5 years and I made your business better, then it's going to be very easy for you to refer me. If you refer someone to me, and they say, "Oh, I talked to Christian. Christian loves you, Patrick. How do I give you my money? I want to use it." That's going to be a lot easier than someone clicking on like Google ad and coming in, and we have to convince them of the same thing. Now, outside of the referral, I would say my number one lead generator is content, is free organic content. Pointed out that I have a good video system here, but I do live videos, a podcast. I do all kinds of talking on a regular basis, and that brings me in leads also. People watch my YouTube videos, which I have ads running to show my YouTube videos, but I have like a whole Go High Level playlist that people are asking for all the time. And every time I make a new high level video, I put it in that playlist. So I have like a whole education area. So in paid traffic, I really like Google ads on the paid side, but the highest quality people that are coming to me right now are from referrals and from my content.
And would you say that's YouTube primarily, or
YouTube and Facebook, to tell you the truth. I recently closed my Twitter account. I'm just not really into Twitter so much. But on any platform where I can do live video, that's my number one content production, number one content creation area. I did invest good money, as you can see, into a video system, and
yeah,
this was pre-COVID. But during COVID and after COVID, I do better when I'm talking and when I'm on video. And
yeah,
so I use this setup here for live streaming. And I
yeah,
use a program on my Mac where I say live stream, and I can live stream to LinkedIn, to Twitch, to YouTube, to Facebook, to Instagram. I can live stream to a bunch of places all at once.
yeah.
And that's primarily, yeah. So when you said YouTube, I'm kind of broadening it to say just video in general works out very well for me.
Let's break that down a little bit because it's really interesting. Someone looking into starting doing video content like this. I have a very basic setup. I just use the web camera and the microphone in the
Okay.
MacBook, right? And it's enough, right? It works. But for someone who wants to do it a bit more crispy, cool background, to make more this feeling that you have on your screen right now, what do we do to
Well,
reach
so like you want to up your quality, video quality? Is that what you're asking?
and being able to stream like this?
So I'm a Mac fan, so kudos to you. We can stay friends now that we're both Mac people. Yeah, I've learned a lot from trial and error on getting video right. And I learned a lot of stuff from watching the news, to tell you the truth, and working with news people. And to really up your video game, lights and sound are really important. So I have, you can't see them, but I have lights back here and a really good microphone. The Mac camera is actually pretty good. I have a different camera right here, but the Mac camera is pretty good. As far as, and then my basic Mac, which I've had for 2 or 3 years, I use that to stream through a program called Ecamm. And in Ecamm, you set up all of your destinations. And then in Ecamm, you say, I'm going to go live at 10 o'clock. And Ecamm starts a live stream, all the places. And so all the audio and video goes out to like at least 5 places all at once. On Facebook, I think I actually do even 3 places on Facebook, a Facebook group, a Facebook page, and my profile. But my goal is to be as live as many places as possible at the same time, because then that content stays on there forever. And it's going to get a little bit tougher because Facebook is going to start deleting your live videos, I think, after a month or something like that. I saw a notice about that. So it's going to get harder, but everything lives forever on YouTube. So definitely on YouTube for sure.
Have you heard about N8N?
I have. I've never used it. Yeah.
I could recommend you to check it out because you
Okay.
might be able to like repurpose right after you send and shoot it somewhere, make it a reel and publish it in pieces. Example, a lot of good stuff on the content end with with it. We're just playing around with it now, so I haven't too much more to say about it, but it looks really good as a complement to what we're already doing in Go High Level.
Got it.
Cool.
I noticed mine right now, not N8N. I'm playing with another one called Descript, which I think is a good repurposing tool also. And I only have the free version. I've done a couple of videos with it, but it's the same way. It's just repurposing, and I would say whatever tool you pick, definitely find. I really love that word repurpose, and I'm glad you bring that up because that's when people want to get into content creation, they don't know where they should start. Should I have a podcast and a YouTube channel and do reels? Well, if you start with video, everything else, you can repurpose that into everything else. You can repurpose a video. You know, we're talking right now on video for those of you that are listening, maybe on a podcast, but he's going to repurpose this video into a podcast. And then he can repurpose this video into reels and shorts and all kinds of things. And as soon as we end this, you can very easily have 5 to 10 pieces of content, all because we started with video. But see, you can't do that with like blog post or like podcast. You're very limited. But you start with video, and everything else becomes easier.
That topic, you're growing your YouTube account, right?
Just hit 6,000. Check this morning. I just hit 6,000 followers this morning. I'm very happy on YouTube.
And how long has it take to reach that point?
Well, let me see. When I probably had a YouTube channel for at least 10 years, if not longer, but I didn't focus on it at all. I've only focused on it probably in the last 5 to 6 months. So my YouTube follower chart is very much flat for like 10 years, and then 4 to 5 months it's spiked up because I'm creating more content. I wasn't a big fan of short content, but I'm doing more short content. And I have a strategy where I'm actually running ads also. And so my goal is to get people on YouTube to watch my other YouTube content. So I have an ad running where I show people my videos who have watched my previous videos, if that makes sense. Yeah. So if you watch video 1, I'm going to show you ads for video 2, video 3, video 4, and if you keep all that around. But yeah, I have a paid Google YouTube campaign running all the time, and that has really excelled my growth. So new content is like the wood and the paper and the fire, and then ads is like gasoline and the match is what it is right there. So I'm trying to use both there.
Nice. So, because we post all these interviews on YouTube as well, and we start to see some real traction on the watch time.
Right.
As a new channel, and it takes time to build it up, etc. But it's interesting to hear, how long it takes for someone like yourself. I do know that you didn't step into that with 0 following in your other channel, so there's probably something there too, where being able to kind of like reach people over from your other platforms as well to your YouTube, right?
I never anybody in like high level group. It's a big one, and I did a video talking about custom objects recently in high level, and
I watched that one.
And it was an answer to another lady who had asked a question, and I thought, well, number one, it was about custom objects, and I thought, well, number one, I can answer her. Number two, I can do it in video form, which makes it easy to watch. But also, we were talking about Descript earlier. It gives me a chance to use Descript. So that was, I think, Saturday or Sunday, and even today, I'm getting people like, I want to watch the video. Where's the video? I want to watch the video. And so I don't push them to the Facebook video. I push them over to YouTube because that's where all the videos are. And if I'm lucky, they'll watch more and they'll subscribe.
And you up your watch time and your engagement over there as well.
Exactly. And that's an area where I know I need to improve. I have no problem pulling in people with like a short content. But a lot of my stuff I've noticed I don't have very long watch times. So that's something I have to improve on, which I'm working on right now. Doing more organized, structured content that keeps people engaged longer. Things like lists. I need to get back at interviews some more like you're doing. That'll keep people engaged longer. So I have no problem getting followers. I just got to get those followers to stay around longer.
Yep. I will share our on the interview method with you, so you can have a look at how.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm really keen to hear a little bit more on packaging. High level can be done in many different ways. You see people fighting on price levels. You see people doing real high ticket, and you see people having partial payments. What would be your recommendation if I'm new? How do I package myself and do I offer my service the best way?
That one, I'm going to say another thing that took me a long time to learn. And I would love to say that I've been amazing in business for 10, 15, 20 years. I haven't. My business has probably grown really strongly in the last 5 years, and definitely more so since I've used high level. And the reason I think that is I'm going to make this list up off the top of my head, but this is what I think has allowed me that I've changed my mindset. Number one is I stopped trying to do anything kind of low ticket, really low ticket. You see some people out there who have the CRM for $97, and you'll never see me sell the CRM for $97 ever. That is just way too low, in my opinion. You work way too hard for that. Now, I do have some people at 97 in my system, but they're like friends that wanted an account. And I said, here's an account for 97, no support, none of that at all. I very much like mid $500 to $1,000 range because it allows you to invest into your team more, and it allows you to invest in some of the other white label tools out there that you can then use to grow your business. Extended leads of the world or the uphexes. We're really lucky in this world of high level that people have built all these white label tools around the white label CRM.
Yeah,
So I use a
yeah,
tool called Hey Levi, which is an AI tool, and it's in the
right.
sidebar. It's in the sidebar of my high level, but I have it under my name and my I call my CRM or my system Playmakers, and so I call it Playmakers AI, but it's really the white label version of another tool. My whole goal with the $500 to $1,000 price range is so I can invest in these other tools and I can invest in teammates so I can worry about the sales and marketing and not worry about much about the actual bills every single day. And you this is kind of funny, you can't see it even behind the camera. I have some papers on the wall back here that's like my financial goals based on my price point. So like my financial goal for my 497 plan, my financial goal for my 997 plan. That's on a piece of paper behind the camera up there, and you see that every single day. But anything less than 497 to me is just it's going to take you a lot longer to reach your financial goals.
I'm
Uh, you
trying
know,
to read behind the lines here, but when you're saying investing in peeps for delivery, when you're saying in these white label tools that you can use to ensure the success of your client, you're not doing that on a monthly contract, are you? You have a monthly payment, but pricing is per month. But when you contract them for a year, half a year, or how long do you tie them up?
oh, how long do I tie my clients up for? Is that what you're asking? Like, how long are my contracts?
Yeah.
I'm very flexible on that. I like to tell people that I don't have a minimum, but when I'm on my calls closing, I like to say that if you stay with us for less than 3 to 6 months, you're not going to see any results because it takes time for us to build everything for you and to get stuff into a cycle. So you do see some people that force people into like a year-long contract, things like that. I'm a little bit more relaxed in that area. I say, give us at least 3 months for you to start really seeing results because we have to build out stuff. And then from there, like to eventually upsell them to some other services or do some other customization. We do a lot of external integrations kind of thing. I don't know if that really answered your question, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
it kind of does.
people sign a contract with us, but it's not like I have to pay for 12 months or I'm going to sue you. Kind of thing. I've never liked those deals myself as a consumer, and so I don't like to put them on my clients.
So let me give you an idea there. I've been in SaaS for a very long time, and I
Okay.
have mentors in SaaS as well. Challenged myself on everything from how do I package my offering, at what price point am I selling, how do I take payments from my client to get that scalable sweet spot where you have enough income from signing your deal to both deliver and doing a good job, creating yourself the runway to deliver an ROI to your client,
Right.
meanwhile having profit on the first invoice. So the way we do it is we have a monthly price, but we've said like if you want to go on a monthly commitment, you go on our affiliate link straight to go high level, right? 40% kickback, and we're not getting that involved other than loading you, show you how you can reach the support, give an action plan. These are the steps you need to go through in order to get up and running with the system. Uh, that's pretty much what we do for that. There's no snapshots. There's no nothing where we commit to anything. It's more like an introduction to go high level, and you
Right.
do a monthly commitment with them instead. Or you choose to go with us, then we take full onboarding. price, but instead of paying a monthly commitment to go high level, you pay for yearly commitment to us. We include onboarding in that price at the
Okay,
same point on this on the 497.
that's a
That's
good
what,
idea.
and it creates us a runway to make sure that we can do a good job. Because just as you said, 3 to 6 months, it's hard to get someone an ROI in that time because you need to connect all the different sources. You need to teach them the method of managing a pipeline and register your deal value and set the status on your deals and come into working with the system, right? And that takes time.
Right.
Uh, so just to ensure that we can both set up all the system support and educate the users on how to use the system, we want to create ourselves that runway of a year if we're going to take on the client. So
Right.
it's just different way of doing it, but you would immediately on such model have 12 times higher renewal rate, right?
And plus, you have a large chunk of revenue all at once too.
Yeah, it kind of allows me out on hiring third party for delivery, making it more scalable, basically.
Right.
So we pretty much invest year one into the delivery from year two and forward. But that way we can ensure that all channels are connected. They're using the phone system, they're using the SMS system, using the full range of the system because we've been working with setting all that up for them, migrating whatever it's. Some people would be in HubSpot today or in some other systems today, and there'd be a WordPress over there, and there'd be a Mailchimp account over there. We kind of like try to consolidate it all during
Okay.
this 1 year because it becomes impossible to find something better and cheaper, right?
Right.
Level. So I can't see those clients churn out anytime soon if you can like vasting off knowing that your customer is the right target audience, they have a turnover and a profit and know where they're going.
Right.
Important piece for us to know that we can take clients on that don't have a straight direction and already working business model and knowing what they're selling. If we want to ensure being able to bring them an ROI, we cannot come in that early stage of still businessing development and figure out your identity and what you're about to sell, etc. That's another type of client, and I think it requires another type of process than what we have in place. We're more looking at, there is a company that's already a sales team. They perform somewhat, but they're average, and we want to make them great, right? So that's kind of what we try to be on the lookout for, bringing on new accounts to ensure that we don't put us in a situation where we have someone hanging over the shoulder month two, asking why we don't have an ROI yet. It can be very stressful to serve that type of agreement.
Right. What's I like hearing about this because we see posts all the time in the Facebook group about just the different ways to succeed, and that can be stress. To having so many choices can be stressful because I see people coming into high level for the very first time, and they're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm paying for it, but I have no idea what I'm doing at high level. And they'll ask, how do you make money? And you reply your way, and I reply my way, and Billy Jean replies his way, and other people reply their way, and Sean Clark may reply his recommendation. There's just so many different options there,
Yeah,
which is again a good thing. Having choices is a good thing. We have a lot of choices in this world.
definitely. You can really put together this exactly as you want, right? Well, I think
Right.
majority of what I've seen so far is that people tend to niche down on some parts of the system. So I might go for review when they really focus on solving that problem for restaurants with low reviews to make sure that they have better pictures and that they get ratings after every time someone says something positive inside of the restaurant. And that
Right.
way, eventually, the score goes up, the look and feel, seeing them on Google Maps, and eventually they get more people and tourists and stuff coming to their location. So they've solved an issue with not enough people knowing about the restaurant. So they focus on that specific problem and they keep on solving that problem for similar businesses, right?
Right.
Uh, Other examples of that, social planner, for example, you could take a lead where you only doing social media for clients and you sell that part of the tool as the management way of handling your social media and course material around that. And it's very dynamic in that sense. But would you say that it is something that would be easier than the rest in the system today? you would say like this probably be the best way to go if you're new starting up today?
Well, always I would start with what that person it was already doing or what they're good at. But as far as give me, you know, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cheat. Bear with me. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna pop into my high level and look at my menu options and see when I see something, some part that I know would be really easy to start with. Um, you know, it would probably be, you know, websites and funnels. That would be a really easy place to start because those are features that, but there are a lot of very other popular products in the world out there. There's popular funnel builders. You can build them in WordPress or other tools. A lot of people are used to using those tools. So maybe you know, as an existing website or they build funnels for their business, they're kind of have a good philosophy of how to do that. It's just then it's a smaller transition than trying to figure out how to learn how to build it over in high level. So you know, there's another let's say there's I won't say the name, but there's another popular funnel building tool that people click on a lot. And if you can build a funnel in that tool, then it'd be good for you to put it, you know, aside with this high level and see, oh, how do I do if I've been doing it for 5 years here, how do I do it now over here? And that's kind of the thing because things like reviews, and a lot of tools manage reviews, so that's a more kind of advanced part of the tool. We have a whole sections here where we can use AI to generate text messages and emails and even AI. We have an AI code generator now. That's all stuff that other tools don't have. That's a very advanced, you know, complicated tool. Let's see, what else do we have here? One would be maybe, and this is kind of work that you do, is people how to use the appointment setting. You know, a lot of people come from different appointment tools, and that's one of the first things I did in high level. That may have been one of the first things I did in high level is get my calendar over there because as soon as I get the calendar over there, then all of your leads start going in there, and you can do more with the leads. So the quick answer is maybe funnels and websites and blogging, and then the calendar.
Yeah. Powerful feature. It's among the first thing I do in my onboarding with my clients to make sure that everybody in the organization has their unique link in company domain name / their name to reach
Uh-huh.
their calendar. Yes, to make sure that they get that routine of, making an appointment. I'm sending my link. That way we know that we're always getting the stuff into the CRM system. And the best
Right.
thing is you don't have to do it yourself. Okay.
Right.
Someone else literally filling in the CRM data for you, right? Such
Right.
a small thing, but such a powerful feature to kind of like streamline your database into something that can become segments over time,
Right.
and follow-up systems like the ones you're doing.
Yeah.
Um,
Once you start getting, because everything's centered around contacts. Once you start, you know, have your contacts in there, you can text them, you can email them, you can set more appointments with them. That's why, in my opinion, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, the calendar might be a good place for people to start because when contacts are in there, your leads are in there, your list automatically starts growing 24/7.
yeah, you can tell from there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, very interesting topic that I would like to pick your brain on because I reckon that you worked with some agencies that has their expertise in the past in WordPress and WooCommerce,
Right.
big field, right? Used to have agency that was part of WooCommerce, and
Okay.
we were really big on the integration side of WooCommerce on third-party system in Europe, like ERP systems and OS systems, bookkeeping systems. We were really early on making these bridges, WooCommerce and third-party system, also on a licensing model.
Okay.
Challenges we had working with WordPress and WooCommerce is it's constantly changing, right? The differences in having an agency building stuff in WordPress today compared to doing it in Go High Level is that I have to deal with all the maintenance, the developers, all of the like side of things
Hmm.
we don't have to do today, right? In Go High Level.
Right.
What would you say is the biggest differences there? Like you compare the two models, as a WordPress agency or working as a Go High Level agency, what would say
Mhm.
be the perks?
Um, it's interesting because I've had this discussion many times in the Facebook group, and I'm usually on a. It never turns into an argument. It always turns into a very heated conversation. Um, I had an extensive tech background, and so whenever I have WordPress problems, it's too hard for me to plug in or upgrade this or play with my CDN or clear my cache. I'm gonna handle it. However, in my opinion, for the average business user, WordPress is a little bit more complicated. I'll use the example of less like walk a lot. So about 0.8 miles from my house, there's a really good food truck. Okay, they want to sell food and they want to text people. Okay, do not want to have to become a tech expert. And with WordPress, you have to be somewhat of a tech expert because when things go south, you're on your own. You can't go to some place and say, I have a WordPress question. If I can go to the Facebook group, I can ask a question about high level, and if Christian's awake, Christian can answer it. Or another friend of mine who I think you know, Carrie, if Carrie's awake, Carrie can answer it. Or sometimes we'll get Sean to answer it, okay? In WordPress world, you're never going to get the CEO of WordPress to answer a question on WordPress tech support. So I would say the support, you're going to have a lot more support in WordPress, and you're going to be a lot more on your own versus in high level, you have a community, and we have conferences and things like that. Is a little bit less predictable. I like high level because it's predictable. In WordPress, if I install, go to this hosting at this company, because there's a ton of hosting companies, I install this theme from this other company or this page builder, and then I install this scheduling plugin or this email plugin or this lead generator. They're all from different people. And then all of a sudden you have 3 or 4 different pieces of code from different people and they don't work together. And everyone in the WordPress world, the Spider-Man meme where Spider-Man's pointing at himself, it's like that. Everyone's pointing at everybody else and saying it's their problem, not my problem. And again, for someone who's technically oriented like you or I, we can probably figure it out. But somebody who runs a food truck or a barber shop or a nail salon, they throw their hands up and they'll say, I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. And they end up either moving to a tool like Hubble or they have to pay somebody more for support. So the short answer is it's predictable, it's reliable, and it kind of gives more peace of mind at night if your stuff's running on a high level versus WordPress because there's a very much a smaller chance of it breaking.
Yeah, I would say honestly, sometimes it makes me laugh because like WordPress is free. No, free.
I've got gray hair to show you WordPress is not free. WordPress is giving me gray hair, man.
Same here. I think I got the first one, here on the platform.
Yeah.
About that, the alternative cost here, right, is that not only do I spend my time on looking for needles in this big haystack where it's broken and we can't figure out why, or I need a developer to do it that charges me by the hour, and I have to pay for the hosting, I have to pay for the SSL certificates, I have to pay for the premium plugins, I have to pay for CDN. It's just like the list is quite long, right? We all know that the bigger the stack is, the more maintenance, the more to take care of, which means you grow. Something that is scalable where you have, I don't know how many they are at this point, but like one employee is backing you up, making sure it's run smoothly. It's quite different to have like a examined guy who's running on full moon parties and you can't get hold of him half the time, which kind of case when you go on a cheap freelancer to handle your WordPress, which is kind of this symptom, right, among new entrepreneurs that, okay, try to find shortcuts and do the cheapest possible implementation here and make it wrong, and it will cost a lot of money, and then they're going to have to make it the right way and invest in it later down the road anyway, right? So,
and the agency side, I want to speak to that for just a second. Before I discovered high level, I was already kind of in this agency model where I was taking a perfect WordPress setup and I was replicating it for clients. Whatever my hosting company was, it allowed you to like WordPress installs. So I had a WordPress install that had a CRM in it. It had an emailer and it had text messaging. It had the perfect theme I paid for. So it was an entire perfect, quote unquote, perfect WordPress site. And then if Christian bought from me, I could say replicate that and then customize it for him, and then he would be off and running. And so it's the same kind of model we do in high level, except for, again, like you said, it was the WordPress. That was WordPress plus probably 5 or 6 premium plugins. And all of a sudden now they're all separate installs and separate things can go wrong with them. And so, the whole concept we have now of snapshots and sub accounts, making it very easy to snapshots and sub accounts. That's just a beautiful thing high level came up with.
Definitely, and it's making life so much easier for your own projects as well. You know, be able to like get an idea of a funnel or a campaign I want to run or whatever. I want to get a landing page up and running. It's like a second. It's no logging into your space and spinning up a new database and a new
Right.
and setting up the subdomain. Like it becomes so frictionless in terms of going from idea to ready product, right? We can
Yeah, and I have to give, kudos to High Level because and everything they're adding features fast and furious, but they're adding the features that we need that are part of marketing. I mean, we can set up ads, we can set up ads right in High Level. We can buy domains right in High Level. All those things that just part that we do every single day that we're logging into separate accounts for, they're making it so you have to log into less and less accounts. You log in one place, buy a domain, buy a phone number, start your ads. All that can be happening in one place now.
Yeah, it's so cool. Just thinking of the other day here, I'm up and running now since now of April. We
Right?
started this journey, and to any previous venture I had, this has been scaling the absolute quickest. And I can't do any other conclusions than high level being the main reason for it going so quick because my offering, my social media channels, setting up the homepage, getting follow-up sequences, phone and SMS gateway. It was like a month of work, right?
Yeah. And
Historically, it's been like a 6 months or a year's task to get all the stuff done the way I want it done, right?
right.
If you do it all properly and mobile adjusted and working for all different devices, etc. It's been a journey when you've been on WordPress and other platforms. It's just like pick up a template that I'm happy with, I make some tweaks to it, run a prompt and get my copy written on ChatGPT. I publish, and
Right.
I'm ready to go out and sell. It doesn't have to be more complex than that to kind of get going with high level, really.
No,
Uh,
you're dead on. Very, very example. Yep.
and a lot of new people coming in too. I see all these posts about our backend and making the CSS hacks and all of these shiny objects, right, coming into the group. And I'm one of them. Like I want to jump on all of them. It's like, oh, that's so cool, right? But I think it's important to kind of step back and look at the main target of like one more clients into your business. You don't need much of those things that you see in the group, right? It's more a matter of you actually putting in the hours, getting out there, social with people,
Right.
and showing your gift to the world, right?
100%. Yeah. Don't decided a while back that I was tired of being a techie. I'm a really good techie. I can write PHP code. I can work in MySQL. I was 15 or 16. I thought it was really cool that I wanted to grow up and be a programmer. Well, now that I'm much older than 16, I don't want that stuff anymore. I want to go to conferences. I want to shake hands. I want to speak on stage. I want to sell. That's the mode I'm in these days. Is I want to sell. And then I have a lady who's my project manager, and anything that's technical related, I push it to her, and then either she'll do it or she'll have our technicians do it. And sometimes I still do tech stuff, but that's not where I want to do it. It's not what I'm good at. And so high level lets me myself back from the tech because it's more stable. And unlike I was when I was using WordPress, and then I can focus on the fun stuff like doing podcast interviews.
Yeah, it's been an absolute blessing to have you here. I hope that we get the opportunity to get you on here again. If you would like to give free advice for anybody watching this new to the Go High Level journey, what would it be?
I would be, you and I talked about a little bit, is that if you're in the Facebook group, we're going to be 100,000 people in there pretty soon from all over the world. You're going to see people talking about all the cool new shiny features in high level. Those understand those, but don't try to jump on every new thing. And Christian, you brought this up at some point. There's all kinds of new shiny things. When I saw the other day, website designer now they have those cool mega menus, so you can make a lot prettier menus for your website. I have to admit, I took that shiny object and right away I was creating like a new web page and I put these cool menus on there. But I didn't spend too much time on it. Be careful about getting distracted about shiny objects until you have, consistent money coming in and consistent leads, and that stuff is on autopilot.
Patrick, it's super valuable for us to have you on. Hope to see you here again. And good luck with your Go High Level.
Thank you. Thank you.